Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be starting, I guess, a series. Who am I? Who do I think I am? I'm starting a little series on my channel. I think I'm going to be calling this series Falling in Love Again. Now, what does that mean? It means that I am going to be making videos using palettes that I've had in my collection for at least over a year that I maybe use occasionally, but have been kind of pushed to the back of my collection that I've chosen to keep. And if I'm going to choose to keep it, it means I need to use it. So I'm going to try and fall in love again with these palettes. Now, the first palette that I've chosen to do in this series is actually a palette that I have not purposely shown on my channel. What does that even mean? It means that this is a palette. I was actually using it as a camera stand, a phone camera stand. You may have seen it occasionally when I maybe turn my camera around to show you something, and I realize, oh, that's something that's actually a palette that I'm using as a stand, and so I still kept it in my collection because I actually do really like this palette, but again, it's just not one that I have used in a while. But I knew, especially when I did my declutter video, my collection video, I was like, oh, well, what about this one? Because I'm not actively using it actually as makeup right now. I'm using it as a prop. But I decided that I did still really like it, and that once I started the series, that this was going to be the first video, or this would be the first palette that I was going to make for these videos. So, which one is it? It's the Mean Girls Burn Book palette by Storybook Cosmetics. Now, when the announcement came out about this, I'd never heard about Storybook Cosmetics before that. And then when I heard about this, I was like, that's so cool. Around the time the musical version of Mean Girls was just about to come out, literally, I think it was like a week or two after it had started running at the National Theater, which is in Washington, D.C. And then after it's run at the National Theater, it moved to Broadway. And I actually saw it at the National Theater because I do live near Washington, D.C. So I went to see it. It was great. I really, really enjoyed the show. Thought they did a really great job. And then a couple weeks later, I had this palette. So that was really cool. So the Burn Book palette, I'm sure probably quite a few of you have already seen videos on this. And, you know, I think it's good. I think it's a good palette. I thought it was a lot better than I thought it could be. I thought because, and again, one, this is a brand I'd never used before. You know, it is kind of a little gimmicky, maybe a little bit of a cash grab. But then once I started using it, I noticed that the quality of shadows was very, very nice. I've never gotten anything else from Storybook Cosmetics before. I know that they did have a palette in BoxyCharm. That was that palette that I hinted at in the, I believe it was my Pat McGrath video. I was talking about when I ended my subscription to BoxyCharm currently. That was the palette that they did tease, and they hadn't even teased everybody else, but they did show that that was the palette that you would be getting if you continued getting BoxyCharm. So even though I do really like these eyeshadows, I was tempted, but I was like, no, because again, it's because they do it in a book form. It's very thick, it's very bulky. I have kept the little cover on it, and it looks exactly the same. So, I mean, I could get rid of the cover. I just never did. And then you open it like a book, and there's a mirror. So there you all are. See? And look, I got a little stand. Look at me, like, trying to invest in things. And then there are all the shades. Is Butter a carb? It's kind of like a mustardy color. And then Gruel, a green. Glen Coco, Yugoga Glen Coco. It's a nice brown transition-y shade. So Fetch Orange. Wednesday, of course, is pink. She doesn't even go here, which is kind of like a maroony brown. The Plastics white. Regina George, a really pretty kind of goldy pink. Mouse, silver. You Can't Sit With Us, which is a nice peach. Cool Mom, which is a really cool like silvery blue. And then October 3rd, which is a dark silver metallic color. So you can see I have used these shadows. This is actually a palette that my daughter kind of wants to use some makeup. I'll let her use this one under supervision, of course, but she has probably actually used this more than I have, which is funny. But I do, anytime that I do open this and think about using it, or she uses it, I always say, I go, it's a good palette. It's a good amount of shades, but it's not, and it's, you know, it's definitely a brighter palette than like, say, like the Tarte Beauty palette, which is a little more of a neutral. And then you've got a little bit of pop with the orange and the purple rose, or columns. I'm sorry, those aren't rose, columns. So it's the columns. But here you've got some brights, but then you've got the brown, and you've got the peach, and you've got the maroon. So you can make it more wearable, and it's not just a brights palette. So I decided that I was going to use this today. I'm going to go out and run a few errands. I might do something tonight. So I wanted to do my makeup. So I've already done my face. I just did a little bit of foundation of the, what is this called? I always forget. The Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. I have noticed, because I do love that, I have noticed though that when I do it all over my face, it really sits in my smile lines. Like I just have natural smile lines. But when I use my Tarte Found Sealer, I don't notice any like building up in there. But when I use that and I use it in this area, I do notice that I get just more definition there, which is not what I want. So purposely today, I didn't put any like here and here. But again, it's a tinted moisturizer and I don't really need to adjust the color on here. I just did a little bit of concealer, I did some powder, and I did my eyebrows. So there we are. So let's just do some. So I'm not going to use like every single color in here. I'm not going to go crazy daisy, but I did want to use some colors that I haven't necessarily used before. So, and look, I already put out my brushes. Guys, who am I? What am I doing? So I'm going to start with You Can't Sit With Us, which is that peachy shade. I'm going to use that as my transition. I have a cleaner one. Well, here, I'll pull out my little color switch there. Because there's a little bit of powder on here. I'll use my color switch, see if that does something. Let me see. Because like for the ones that have all like caked in powder, I don't know if it'll do anything, but yeah. Let's see. It got off a good amount. Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to use this fluffy Morphe brush. It's this M433, and I'm going to put that in my... I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to turn this way this time. Usually I turn the other way. And there is a mirror in here, so I'm going to use that mirror. Which is cool. And I'm just going to put that in my crease and all over the lid. I'm just doing something really, really easy to show that this is a very wearable palette and that the shadows are pretty good. They're not amazing, but they're good for a palette that I assumed I would just be having because it's the Mean Girls burn book and maybe not necessarily use it. So yeah, so with Storybook, I've looked at their products before, and I think that they have like a subscription box kind of thing where you can get like different, like exclusive, like smaller palettes from them. And, I was interested because again, I do like these shadows, but it just takes up a lot of room and I only have so much room. I don't, this is literally against a wall in my bedroom. I don't have like a beauty room to go into. When I was setting up my vanity the first time, one day I'll show you all this. When I was setting up my vanity, I was really, that's typical me. So when I was setting this all up and figuring out what I was going to buy, of course, that was around the time that everyone was getting the Alex drawers from IKEA and all that stuff. And, I was pinning things and that's what it said that it was. And I was like, well, that's what I have to get. But then when I measured, it was just too big for the space that I have. And I have a full-size mirror right here also from IKEA that I really, really like. And I didn't want to get rid of that because it has hanging things in the back so I can actually like store things behind my mirror, which is great. Now, but the problem with that is that it does take up some real estate in my room. So I couldn't go into that. So I'm thinking about maybe one day I'll rearrange my room again. I mean, I've rearranged my room so many times. But we'll see. I really like my setup and I like the fact that it is kind of limited. So I can't go crazy and like fill up drawers and drawers and drawers of stuff because I would. I absolutely would. So there we go. So there's, that's You Can't Sit With Us all over the lid and mainly in the crease. Let me see if I can get a little bit more on the actual lid. Give it a good base. Now, I didn't put my MAC Prep and Prime like I normally do. Oh well. So again, I'm not like taking pictures or anything. But see, it's very pretty. Very, very pretty. I like that color. Okay, now I'm going to do Regina George, which is that really pretty pink shade. I'm going to do it all over. And I'm again just going to use a finger. I love using my finger. It's fantastic. Thank you, Tarte, for being like, hey, you know what? Sometimes to get really good pickup and really good coverage, you just use your finger. If this is just a palette that you're going to use, there's no harm. Because it's your own terms. If you give yourself pink eye, that's, that's your fault. Now, if I was like an actual makeup artist, which I'm not. And like I've had a couple of friends be like, "Oh, you should do my makeup. Can you do my makeup?" And I'm like, I stick my fingers in my makeup like all the time. I would have to figure out how to like disinfect the top layer of it. So sometimes I'm like, oh, well, why don't we just figure out like what you got, and we'll just with what you have, we'll do that. So I'm just going from like a little over the middle. It's like 75% of the eye. Pretty. Okay. We'll of course use the plastics for the inner corner. Oh, I do need to share what I did for New Year's. So New Year's, it was really cool. My boyfriend, one of my best friends, and I, we went on a dinner cruise on the Potomac River. Because again, like I said, I'm near the DC area, so we went on the Potomac River. It was really great. We had a lot of fun. So for my look, if you follow me on Instagram, I have put my Instagram handle down below before. If not, I can do it again today. Now, it is my personal account. One day, you know, if I get big enough, I might make a YouTube, you know, I might do that move to have like a separate one. But right now, I just have my personal one because I'm lazy and, you know, it's fun. So if you look at my recent posts from New Year's, you'll see the look. But I used Tarte Beauty because I knew that I could get a really good look from it. And I pretty much did a similar look to what I had done when I did my review video for her. I didn't go so much in the orange row though. I kept it a little more neutral. And I did do glitter and it was great. It held up all night long. Like I didn't want to wash off my makeup. So good. And I did use, for like my highlight, I did use the Jaclyn palette, but then I had a fun little idea that, oh, flake of skin. Great. Awesome. Love that. Love that for me. So yeah, we just a little bit of white in the corner. Let me get my under my eyebrows. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I don't want to, because seriously, like usually I only do white eyeshadow in there if I'm like going to do a performance or something because that makes it really, really bright. But I'm just going to do a light just right there and sweep it over. There we go. Makes a difference. So for my highlight, I'd used the Jaclyn palette because that's my favorite one of the year so far. Sorry guys. I was really tempted to use the Amrezy because again, that really gives that like nice wet, like melts in the skin look. But so does the Jaclyn palette, in my opinion, on my skin. It does do that. So I did that. It was getting right, and then when I was done, I was like, you know, I feel like I need a little something more. Like I want something else. So I went in the Kathleen Lights palette and I used that diamond shade, that Super Shock Shadow stays up in the corner, and I put that on my inner corner. So I was like, I felt like I wanted my inner corner to pop out a little bit more. So I did that. But then I was like, hold on a second. And I took a little bit of that diamond and I just did it like right in the front. Just right here. Like right where the highlight starts. And I kind of like blended it up. It was so nice. Unfortunately, my pictures, it doesn't really show it because the lighting in there wasn't that great. So, and even with like Instagram filters, you can really see it. But like in person, it was so nice. So just a little tip. If you have that palette, that shade just like kind of like the accent out that highlight, it was so nice. So nice. I was so proud of myself. I was like, who do I think I am? Like, oh my God. Who am I? Oh, excuse me. Skills. Anyway, so there we go. Let's just deepen up. We're just gonna use Glen Coco. We're just because again, I'm just gonna go run some errands. I'm not going crazy. So we'll just use Glen Coco to just deepen out that corner a little bit. I'm just slightly tapping that like on the outer corner of my eye, and then I'll blend it out. So normally I would use this as the transition shade, but since we're going lighter, we'll use this as our outer corner shade. Right there. Okay. Looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to take my little linen brush just so that blends in a little bit. I'm just pulling it in this way. Good. See? Like nice, semi-natural, but obviously I did my makeup. Obviously. Okay, now let's do underneath the eyes. We'll just do... I don't want to go too crazy. I'll use my switch. I'm just going to kind of get off some of that brown that's been on this little brush that I've used for under my eyes. I'm going to, I think I'll just do Glen Cocoa. I'm just going to do Glen Cocoa, but very, very lightly. Tap, tap. And I'm just going to go, I see, like, I did it very lightly and still, like, it, pretty much one swipe, it went all the way across. So it's a nice palette. I can't call it a nice little palette because it's not little, but it's a nice palette. And and like I said, anytime that I've used it, it's very nice. Now, I think that they're still making this. I have no idea. I have no idea. But if you have this in your collection and you're being kind of like, like, you can get a nice look for not too much work. That is our goal here. Not that much work. Because I don't have time. Okay, do I want to do anything else? I think just to try and use another color, I'm going to take a little bit of So Fetch, and I'm just going to do that like very, very lightly over the crease. Very, very lightly. Just to kind of get another color in there. Because why not? And just kind of warm up that crease a little bit. The other side. Just a little. And I'm like very, very lightly putting that on my eye. So I just want to do a little bit more color. See? Do a little bit more. Just kind of make sure everything's blended. There we go. I like it. I definitely like it. So hooray. As opposed to probably when I do some of these other palettes, like the ones that I've had a little more issue with, I'm going to have to tell myself to not do my face first and just do my eyes. So that way, if it gets messed up, I'm not starting over from the beginning because nobody wants that. Okay, so I just put that away. Take out my mirror. Ooh. Had a little too close to my actual eyeline. Let's not try and blind myself. That'd be great. I'm not going to do eyeliner today. I'm just going to do a little mascara. I'm going to do the Big Ego. Big Ego today. Just put a little mascara. But yeah, it's my goal to try and include everything as much as I can. But obviously there's going to be some that I'm going to go, I don't really like this as much. So I'm going to get rid of it. I've got some palettes that I probably got like sometime in like 2017, or I don't think I have anything in 2017. It might be 2018. No, 2017. There's some stuff from like end of 2017. My Cat's Pajamas palettes. I'm pretty sure she came out with that end of 2017. So like that one, I know I really like that one, but I need to try and use it. And if I'm still not trying to reach for it, I just need to get rid of it. Or pass it to somebody who might want to use it. Here we go. Looks awake. Am I? Yeah, I'm pretty awake. I'm pretty awake today. Okay, I'm just going to finish my cheeks and do my lips, and I'll be right back. See the finished look. Okay, everyone, we're back with the finished look. And what I did was I just did a little bit of blush. Now, I've decided I kind of want to try and mix up my blushes a little bit and not just keep using the same one over and over and over again. Because again, if I've got more than one blush, I need to try and use it. So today I used the Alamar Cosmetics blush I got in a BoxyCharm. I did use the one that's similar to what I normally use, which is the middle one. But I did mix in a little bit of the one on the end, Scorcher. So I used Paraiso and Scorcher. Ah, the little plastic thing is going everywhere. Okay, so I mixed that a little bit and did that very, very lightly on my cheeks. And then I used my Ride or Die highlighter, my Amrezy highlighter, because it's been like probably like a couple weeks since I've used it. Because sorry, I'm not cheating on you, Jacqueline. I promise. I love you. So I used that to highlight my face. No bronzer today. And then for lips, I used the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Flirty. I got this in a BoxyCharm a couple of boxes ago, and I remember I really liked it. It's very light. It's not super drying, but I mean, it is a liquid lipstick, so it's just a little bit drying. So I can kind of sense that. But again, here, try and use it, try and mix it up and not use the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So, verdict. Did I fall in love again with this palette. I did. And that's why it's still been here, because I know that it's a good palette. I just need to use it for things that are fun. And I mean, I don't have this shade of orange in another palette. I don't have the shade of mustard, I don't believe, in another palette. I really love that pink. This silver on is very, very nice. It's a really good arrangement of colors, in my opinion. And they perform pretty well. It's not, like I said, it's not an amazing palette compared to other ones that I have, but it's good. So she has earned her spot. I love you. She has earned her spot to stay up here in my collection, which was exactly the point. Now, and I've got a couple more up here that are still in my active collection that are up here that I'm going to do videos on as well. And then I got some in the drawer that I got to work it out. Because if I can't make it work, then maybe somebody else can make it work, or maybe it just needs to go bye-bye. I don't know. I have trouble throwing away palettes, unless if they're super old or breaking. Like my Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Greer one. Like, if that's why I was trying to find maybe another highlighter palette, because that one broke again, which made me very, very sad. Then I got the Jacqueline one, which I really, really, really like that one. So, happy miracles. But that one was like early 2017 when I bought that. So it makes sense, which is why these 2017 palettes, I need to use them as much as I can before they're just not going to be good. The pigment's not going to be great. They're going to start breaking, all that stuff. Rambling at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the series. Leave me a comment down below. Give me a like, subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos from me. These won't be all of my videos. I do have some other ideas for videos that I want to do. A few days ago, I bought a couple of things from ColourPop. I got a couple of things from Sephora. So I think I might, I think I might put those together. It's like a mini haul or something. Since it's not really like enough from each one. There were just things that I needed, and then some things that I wanted to try. So we'll try that out. Maybe we'll do a little tryout. So again, I hope that you liked this video. I liked it because I got a nice look out of it that I can go out shopping with. And I know that Mean Girls palette has earned her place in my collection. She wasn't just sitting here because she was my my camera holder for a while. So everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Have a good work week. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.